pilots and ground crew. It's a bit of a miserable day today. It's a bit damp and it's blowing a gale. I'm looking out the window now that way. And it's very windy, so I can't get out flying. So I thought I'd take this time just to have a quick chat about the Phantom LIPO batteries and taking care of them, basically, because there's a few rules more experienced pilots will know, but this is really just for new pilots who, from no fault of their own, haven't been told how to look after them. Because when you get a lot of these drones, not necessarily the Phantom, but when you get them, there's not a great deal of information out there regarding taking care of the batteries. Right, well, to start with, a lot of pilots, once again, not their fault, they see these batteries and they're in like a plastic case and they know they've got like a computer built in because lights come up and everything, and they think they're a different type of battery compared to something that they may have seen before, with a battery with some leads running off, whether it's something like this or a bigger one or even a little 1300. Well, all these, including the Phantom battery, are exactly the same. There's nothing real different about them apart from the Phantom has a computer built in. Now, before I get going on looking after the batteries, I just want to explain what's really inside the battery and what a battery is. Right, now you're looking at a picture of a battery that's been cut in half. So you can see basically what it's made up of, and it's layers of non-conductive plastic ingredients and carbon plates which are separated by insulation, with the aluminium running round, and then you have your heat shrink or your plastic cases like in the Phantom. But basically that's all that a battery is, with the inertial gases running through it. Right, so now you know what one of these look like if you cut them in half, and like they say, it's just the same no matter what type of battery. A light polymer battery is the layers that you've just seen in the photograph. Now, looking after them is very important. When you charge them up, they charge up to a high voltage or a full charge voltage of around about 4.4 volts, and at the absolute lowest shouldn't really be running them down less than 3 volts per cell. Manufacturers, I believe, run it a safety level, or the bare minimum is 2.7, but 3 volts is no lower than 3 volts. But you won't realise that with a Phantom battery. They're more when you're charging one of these up. So if you're only flying Phantoms, that bit of information won't matter. Right, getting back to these, this is what I really wanted to talk about. When you've got these charged up, you get your 4 lights, as you know. But what a lot of people don't realise, and as I said, it's not their fault because they don't get the information. So when you get your 4 lights, it's basically telling you the battery's fully charged up, which you realise that. But what you may not realise is you can only leave it for 24 hours fully charged before you run it down or go flying. Because what can happen when you saw them layers in the photograph, the gases that run through can start to expand if you leave your battery too long, and that's when you get sometimes puffiness of a battery. You'll notice it more in this type of battery. Your battery starts to puff up a little bit, and basically it's been left fully charged for too long and the inertial gases are trying to escape, and then your battery is just no good. It's dangerous at that point. It could burst at any time, whether it be in flight or just in your storage case somewhere, and the gases can release. We're not talking an explosion. I've seen people mention it, they explode. They don't really explode, they burst. You might get a small flame, but the amount of gas the pump out is unbelievable. It will fill your room within seconds. So basically, if your battery starts to puff up, you've left it on full charge too long and the battery is destabilised, which is not necessarily the new pilot's fault, because if they don't know, they don't know. Right then, so charge up your battery 24 hours before you go out flying. If you don't go flying, you have to run your battery down. We'll go on to that in a minute. Now, if you've got only 3 lights left on your battery, that means there's about a 65 to a 75% charge left in your battery. Now then, you can leave that in your case before going flying 48 hours, I nearly said 3 days then, 48 hours before using your battery. Now if you don't use it within 48 hours, then you have to run it down again. Now we'll talk about 2 lights. 2 lights is a different matter. 2 lights is your storage charge, which is about 40 to 50% of the battery cell count on the charge. So 2 lights, 40 to 50% of the battery power in there. Now you can leave that over winter, or you can leave it a few months, 4 or 5 months or whatever. When these things are made, they're roughly at 40 to 50%. They're in the factory for a few weeks or months, then they're in the shop for a few weeks or months, then you buy them. So 40 to 50% on 2 lights is a good storage charge. That way, when it's sat in your case, if you're not using it, it'll only run down at 1% per month. So if you left this 4 months of a winter, if you only fly in summer, then your battery's gonna charge up with no problems the next time you come to charge it. Okay? Right, now if you get down to 1 light, you've been flying, you run your battery, you've done 20 minutes or whatever you get out of yours, depending on how much you push it, how fast you go and everything. You've got 1 light left on your battery. Now you can leave that for 3 to 4 days maximum, 4 days maximum, before putting some charge into it. If you want to leave it longer, after 3 or 4 days, charge it up to your 2 lights, your 50%, and then leave it as long as you want. But 1 light, 3 to 4 days maximum. Because like leaving it on fully charged for a long time, where it can start to puff up because you destabilise your battery, leaving it on 1 light, as in a very low voltage, it can destabilise your battery too. So a low voltage left for a long time is bad, and a high voltage left for a long time is bad. It's finding that balance in the middle, and the middle is 2 lights, 40, 50%. I've been talking about running them down. Well, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can obviously fly your battery, keep a look at your tablet or your phone, whatever mobile device you're using. You fly your Phantom. Notice when your battery's getting down to about 50% land, and you know your battery is in storage ready to be put away. Or take your props off, which is important. If you're in the house, stick your battery in the Phantom, turn your battery on, and just leave it to sit there for a couple of hours until your battery runs down to where it's 50% mark again, and then put it in storage again. But there is another way which is a little bit quicker, and I'll just get it. We're back, never have anything ready near me. It's a little circuit board you can buy with a light bulb connected, and all you do is you plug I'll zoom in and do like a close-up, quick chat about it so you see it better. But it's a little circuit board with a light bulb on the end. Yeah, you may have seen them. But you plug it into your battery, you turn your battery on, the light comes on, and your battery starts to run down because the light draws the power. From a fully charged battery, to run it down to 50% only takes about an hour, whereas just leaving it sat in your Phantom with the power on and the blades off, it can take a couple of hours or so, maybe longer. But yeah, you just plug it into your battery, turn your battery on, and when the light goes off, there's a buzzer here. The buzzer will sound and you know your battery's run down to 50%. Now also, after every 20 to 25 flights with one of these, you want to run them down to about 8 to 9%. Now I know that sounds like a contradiction to what I just said, running them down too low. But it's to recalibrate the computer to the cells in the battery. And what you do is you run them down 8 or 9% and then you recharge them up again after about an hour. Leave them to cool down after you've run them down. And then after about an hour when they've cooled down, then recharge them to your 2 lights, your storage. Now this will do it for you as well. Just mention there's a button on the back. When you press the button, instead of running the battery down to 50%, it'll run it all the way down to about 9%. Then once again the light goes off, the buzzer sounds, and you know your battery has been looked after. You only do that though with your battery after every 20 to 25 flights. The DJI app, if that's what you're using, DJI Go, will tell you this. LIPO, which I've just started using myself, that doesn't mention it. But anyway, you know now. I'll do a quick zoom in on this so you've got a better understanding of what this is, and I'll put some prices up and where you can get them from. You can get them from eBay, Amazon, Banggood I got mine from. I think it was £12, £13. But it's something I am so glad. The amount of batteries I have charged up and then had to run them down the next day, charge them up on the night to go out flying the next day and something happens, it starts raining or something's gone wrong. Well, you shouldn't leave your batteries as I just said, so you have to run them down. And just sticking this in, turning it on, and well, not forgetting about it, but just leaving it until it does it is a godsend. I've got about 3 of these, but they're interchangeable bulbs if your bulb burns out, but I've used this one about 40 times. Anyway, I'll put a quick video up now and get back to you. Okay then, hope that's in focus. It looks like it is to me. We need a pointer, that'll do. What you've got on your circuit board here basically is your 2 pins that go into your battery. If I turn that on an angle you might see them better. There you go. You'll notice a buzzer at the back. As I said, once your battery's run down, the buzzer goes off and the light goes off too. Oops, and the light goes off. The light bulbs are interchangeable. You can pull that out, stick a new one in if it burns out. I've used that one about 40 times now. That's how many times I've charged my bloody battery up and had to run it down because the weather's changed. On the back, you'll notice a little white button. Now, when you first plug it into your battery, you turn your battery on and it'll start to run your battery down to 50% of its life, the storage charge that I spoke about. Now, I also mentioned after every 20 to 25 flights you want to run your battery all the way down to 8 or 9%. Well, that's where the little button comes in. You press the button and the battery will keep discharging all the way down to 9%. And then the light goes off and the buzzer sounds again. So like I say, it's a cool little gizmo, very cheap. I think this costs about £4. I'll have a look online and stick it up in the corner for you. But all it is, a little circuit board with your battery connectors on. You plug it into your phantom battery, the light comes on. Once it's run down, the beeper goes and the light goes off. And that's it basically. Right, let's get back to the couch. Okay then. Now you've seen what that little circuit board with the light bulb does. Sorry, sore throat. Now you can also get a different type of adapter where you connect it into your battery and there's a light bulb just to run it down, just the same as what you've just seen. But it has an extension. You can put a USB cable into it and plug it into your phone. I'll put a little video up, picture. You plug it into your phone, and it actually, while your battery runs down, it transfers the charge from your battery to your mobile device. So instead of the energy just being wasted through a light bulb, it'll actually charge up one of your mobile devices. So anyhow, that's the end of the video, and basically it's really just for new pilots who's just got these Phantoms and just want to look after the batteries. And you do want to look after your batteries, because you'll end up getting a lot more usage out of them, because they don't last forever, but they'll last a lot longer if you look after them properly. So for a quick recap, 24 hours before you go out flying, fine to leave your battery fully charged. After 24 hours, if you're not using it, run it down to about 50%. If you have 3 lights on, which is about 65 to 75% charge in the battery, only leave it for 48 hours. 2 lights, as I've said, is storage, long time. If there's only 1 light on your battery, you can leave it for 3 or 4 days before you have to put a bit of charge into it, or it's going to run too low and you're going to destabilise the polymers and everything, can ruin your battery basically. So I hope you found this bit of information useful and even interesting maybe. But thanks for watching, and as usual, see you later. Oh, one more thing while I remember. I was recently asked why in my videos I say hello pilots and ground crew. Basically, I class the ground crew as the people that like to watch the flight videos but don't actually fly themselves. They don't own any planes or quads or whatever, but they like watching them. So they're the ground crew. And like in real life, the ground crew are just as important as the pilot. I won't want to get into a bloody big jumbo jet or whatever, Boeing 747, if there hasn't been a good ground crew working on it first. Anyhow, that's why I say hello pilots and ground crew. Right then, cheers and thanks for watching. If you liked the video, say what everybody says, please subscribe.